channel. So it looks a little dark, it looks a little different than where we're normally at, but that's because I'm showing you this video from a far, far away remote location. Just kidding, it's just the basement. But I'm down here for a reason, because I needed to be somewhere where it's dark and there's tons of windows in my craft room. So to show you this super cool new product from 651, I had to be somewhere dark. So we're down here in the basement, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like with this amazing light base with the acrylic piece that I engraved, and it's so much fun. There's so many different things you can do. There's a bunch of different shapes, and it comes with a remote, so you can change it, kind of like the puck lights that came from 651 that we used in the bucket that I put on my front porch. So it comes with a remote just like that. So you could pick all of your colors here, and then on this side you could pick your effects, and it's amazing. And it's super bright and it looks super cool. Do you want to see it? I bet you want to see it, right? All right. So this is the one that I just did, and the one that I'm going to show you how to do and how to engrave. So this here is 2mm acrylic, so it fits in your maker machine, and you can engrave it with the engraving tool with your maker, and it works great. I would suggest using your phone or your iPad to use the snap mat feature so you can really get it lined up. I didn't, but this came out perfect for me. I'm okay with it. But if you want it super precise, I would consider using that. I can't, because that's how I'm bringing you this video. But so the light base is super lightweight, as well as the acrylic, and all you do is you take the piece of acrylic out and you set it right there, super bright, set it right there in that little spot, and once you do, it reflects off of everywhere that you've engraved. But it's also, I used etched vinyl on the saw blade that I'm going to show you in this video as well. So if there are some of you who don't have the maker and you don't have the engraving tip, you can use etched vinyl. I got mine from Cricut, but you can use etched vinyl and get the same type of effect there. So that is no different than really what the other one looks like that I engraved. So that makes it nice because you can kind of fill in letters, because you can't do that with the engraving tool with Cricut. You can with Silhouette, not so much with Cricut. But so I did it two different ways, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you the two designs in Design Space, and then I'm gonna show you how I set it up to engrave on my mat, send it through the machine. We're gonna stick this decal on, and I'll give you all the details about this light. As always, the links for all of the products I use will be in the description. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video, give it a thumbs up, and we'll go ahead and get started real quick. So here we are in Design Space, and I have two designs that I'm going to work with today. I'm going to engrave one, which I'm going to engrave my logo onto the circle shape, and then I'm going to use an etched vinyl to put this design here on the saw blade shape for the LED base. So what I'm going to do, this here is set to engrave. You change it up here under your line type. You can change it to cut, which is going to gray it out because it'll cut around it. But since it is going to engrave, I'm going to change it to that. And then this is just normal cut, ready to go, because it's just going to cut out of vinyl. So you're not going to do anything different with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and send these to the mat, and I'm going to flip you over and show you the machine while it's engraving, and we will let that go. And while it's engraving, I will show you how to apply the etched vinyl onto the acrylic blank, and then I'll show you the outcome of the engraved piece. Okay, now that our vinyl design is done cutting, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I put this piece of acrylic on my mat and how to install your engraving tip. So the adaptive tool system with Cricut all have these gears on the top, and this one is the quick change housing. So all you have to do is push this button here on top, and that's going to release it. So this is the engraving tip. So when you switch it out, you just press there and release, and then it is in. So that is your engraving tip. You want to make sure you have the right one. And all you're going to do is pop that clamp open. I usually rest my fine point up there because I end up putting it right back in anyway. You're just going to put in your tool and close the clamp, and now that it's in, we have to load our mat, and it's still going to go over to the side and make sure you have the right tool in. So if you did put the wrong one in, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to cut. It's not going to engrave. It's just going to kind of tell you that you put the wrong thing in and you have to correct it. So I'm using my strong grip mat, and I do have the acrylic piece taped down just a little. You don't have to tape it down. This is just to give it a little extra security. So I'm going to push on the end of my mat here. Or I'm going to hold at the end, push it in, and you're going to see that it will go just under the roller there. So it's going to go ahead and read the blade and start engraving. If for some reason you notice that while it's working, it stops and pauses and the blade starts to spin, it's completely normal. There's actually a prompt that will show up on your screen that says the tool may spin and pause. So that's completely normal. I've noticed anytime I've used it, it does it at least once. So I'm going to go ahead and press start. I have it set to thick acrylic 2mm, which is exactly what this is. It is a setting under the other category when you do have your engraving tip in. So we're going to start this, and while this is cutting, we will go over and apply our etched vinyl onto our saw blade. While we wait for the circle to finish engraving, I'm going to go ahead and apply the etched vinyl to the saw blade. Now you can see here, it's pretty hard to see. There's really nothing, you can't see a whole lot there in the video. It's pretty transparent but frosted at the same time. So I just did a really cute little design that says sawdust is man glitter, which is definitely the truth. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel this back, and I'll be able to show you better what the etched vinyl looks like. So it's going to give it that same effect, but if you can't engrave, you'll still be able to get that etched, engraved kind of look to work with the LED light. So it's pretty hard to see. So we're just going to peel it back here. Try not to lose any letters. Using, of course, my pin pen tool from 651, which is the greatest weeding tool ever. Back. Now the nice thing with the vinyl is you don't have to worry about lining it up with your machine. You know, if you use your cell phone or your tablet with Cricut, you can use the snap mat feature. Using the snap mat feature makes it really easy to move things around and line them up exactly, because you're basically looking at a picture of what's on your mat and moving your image exactly where you need it. It's not too hard to line it up without, but it can get tricky, especially with different shapes. So using etched vinyl, you don't have to worry about that. You just need to get a good idea of what the size of your acrylic is and just kind of measure that way. So that's weeded. So now you can kind of see that it's all stuck together. The etched vinyl is kind of this transparent, almost frosted. It is two different things. Cricut does have a frosted vinyl and a frosted window cling, and the etched vinyl. So this is the etched vinyl. I did use the glitter frosted permanent vinyl on another one I did, which I will show you at the end. So I'm just kind of getting all these pieces out from inside these letters. Move them here, make sure we got everything. Okay. Now the same with acrylic blanks. These pieces come with a protective film over it, so they look kind of cloudy. They're definitely not, because you can see with this one, see the difference? The saw blade here is cloudy and this one's crystal clear. That's that protective cover. So you want to make sure that you peel that back. You can either use the end of your pin pen very carefully so you don't break it, or what I like to do is I use my Cricut True Control knife and I just pull back at the bottom here, because this part goes inside that LED light. So if you do scratch it a little bit, you're not going to see it. So I'm going to pull that back. And what you want to be careful to try not to touch it too much, because you will leave fingerprints on it, and you can see that in the light. The light kind of highlights your fingerprints. So just be careful not to touch it as much as you can. We're going to get some transfer tape on that. We're going to stick it to this saw blade here and put it on the light so you can see what it looks like. I am just using a medium tack transfer tape from 651. Definitely my favorite. That. Burnish it down real well so it's nice and flat and even, so you don't have to do that once it's on your piece of acrylic. Down. I reuse my transfer tape a couple times before I get rid of it, so mine's normally cut in a bunch of crazy different shapes, but I just stick it right back on that roll when I'm done so I don't waste it. So I leave it like that, and I have small pieces. I just stick them right back so I can reuse them again. Burnish this down one more time. Just like that. And now my saw blades go this way, so I wanted to make sure that I peeled the right side off. And we're gonna kind of flip it over, because with this, because it's kind of textured, it might get a little finicky when it comes to sticking to the transfer tape. It shouldn't be too bad. If you flip it over and peel from the back, it helps to get your vinyl to stick and kind of release from that liner a little better. Just some tricks of the trade that you learn along the way. So now you can kind of see this design better. Sawdust is man glitter. I'm gonna move this over here. We're gonna get it straight so we can line this up. Alright, so what I think I'm gonna do, well, it's pretty big, so we're just gonna do the letters. Just gonna center those letters as best as we can. I'm not going to use the saw blade because it did come out a little bigger than the acrylic piece, which is okay. Just shows that we're real life people that don't measure things correctly, right? Peel that back. Stick my transfer tape back on the roll. I'm going to peel this off. Okay, so now it just says that quote on there, so I'm gonna I'm going to hold down at the bottom, and I'm just going to want to make sure that that vinyl is all stuck nice and well, because any kind of air pockets, it's going to make the light look a little different. So you just want to make sure it is on there nice and even. That is on, so you can see there is still a protective film on the back, so it's still not going to look super clear. But you can see that it does say, there you go, there's a good angle, Sawdust is Man Glitter. I think it looks great without the extra saw blade on there. It makes sense. We all know what this is, right? So I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to pull that other side off, and I'm going to stick it in the light and show you what it looks like. Peel this side off. Again, I'm doing it down here because if you do happen to scratch it, this part goes inside that light. So it's not too big a deal. So there's that. Stick it in our light base here. Flashing, but look at that. So that is the etched vinyl, and it looks really good. So with Cricut, you can't fill in your letters when you engrave because we don't have that ability yet. With Silhouette, you can, so there is a difference there. But with this etched vinyl, in my opinion, you can see it just as great as you can when you engrave. Plus, with this, you can take it off and you can change out your design as well. So I did another one with my name on it with the frosted vinyl. It's the frosted glitter vinyl, and if I wanted to change it, I could change it. This is that frosted glitter vinyl. This one, since it's a longer piece with the frosted glitter, the frosted vinyl, it's kind of only picking up there in the middle, but in the dark, you can see it really well. In person, you can see it really well. But this whole concept of the acrylic pieces with the light is just awesome. I love it. So that one's done, and now our engraved piece is done. So I'm going to take that out here and turn our light off with our remote. And then take this off the mat. We're going to kind of brush it off because it does leave a little bit of some kind of fuzzy pieces on that acrylic there, just from pulling the plastic. So wipe that off, kind of give it a brush. You can do so many things. I can definitely see putting your kid's favorite character on here, doing the outline of them, and having this in their room as a nightlight, or, you know, even a centerpiece at a party, or even a wedding. You know, you could put Mr. and Mrs. established, and then the wedding date. So we'll take this clear film off the back. Alright, so you can kind of see there where it's etched, but you'll really be able to see it once we put it in the base. I found that cleaning these with a microfiber towel and glass cleaner works pretty well to get them nice and clean. So there's that. So now I have my logo. So if I wanted to, I could have this flashing in the background so everyone knows what's going on. Everyone knows who I am, right? So it's super easy, and like I said, the possibilities are really endless, and it's awesome. Like, it's so bright, and it shows so well on the acrylic, especially in the dark. In a dark room, this thing looks absolutely amazing. So what I'm going to do is show you a quick slideshow of all of the pieces that I've done with the light on them in the dark, so you can really see how awesome they look. And hopefully you guys go out and buy some of these from the links below and create your own awesome acrylic pieces that light up, super cool, and post them in the 651 vinyl group so we can all see them. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video, give it a thumbs up, and come back for more. We'll have more videos coming soon. Thanks for watching, guys.